Sweeny, I think it's overpriced. I think college education in this country is out of control, and I think the entire industry is a broken system, and it's getting to the point that it's becoming dangerous for the country.
Now, do I like paying, $400 a month in college loans? No, I don't enjoy writing that check.
My husband and I we will be paying off student loans for the foreseeable future, probably close to the 10 years that they allow, or that they designate, if not longer.
I have a nephew right now that's got a loan repayment of $1,000 a month. It's a lot of money.
Negative view about the higher education right now, as an educator.
The president of Rowan University is saying no to an issue that impacts college students at the top-rated New Jersey school, as well as schools across the nation. Dr. Haushmand wants to change the focus from dollar signs to learning signs, and that's because college tuition has increased drastically over the past 10 to 15 years.
We need to create knowledge and impart knowledge. That is really what we need to do. But universities in this country have become a city by themselves. And when we do it in here, we do it inefficiently. When we do it inefficiently, the cost of doing business rises. When the cost rises, we charge you more.
Some tuitions now cost over $50,000 for just 1 year.
It's a huge amount of money in your early to late 20s, sometimes even into your mid 30s, when you're looking to get married, buy a house, have a baby, et cetera, et cetera. So those are things you have to consider.
The average student's carrying over $25,000 of debt when they graduate, and I've heard numbers as high as $70,000 in loans. So when you get out of college, you're basically carrying a mortgage payment, which hinders the ability for you to, say, get an apartment, buy a car, start moving on in your life.
Here, the flip side, or the sort of moderating influence there, is that what students actually pay, which is what most of us are concerned about, the net price, the net tuition, actually rose more than that, and rose for the first time in quite a while.
And when it comes to the dollar amount, students really only have two options: pay the amount owed or apply for federal student aid. This can pose a challenge for the middle class, who generally don't qualify for a great deal of federal student aid. Senator Sweeny is passionate, focusing on creating a smaller divide in terms of socioeconomic classes to generate greater equality and higher education opportunities.
So again, we have to focus on how we make this work so that the middle class have the opportunity, as so as the poor, the middle class, everyone has the opportunity to get a degree.
One solution proposed by Senator Sweeny is something called Pay It Forward.
You would go to college and you wouldn't pay any bills, and then when you graduated, you would pay a percentage of your income going forward to pay it back. And what's happened with that is, it sounds really good, and some people are looking at it, but we don't want to have unintended consequences where you think you're doing one thing and you wind up making it cost twice as much. So we're studying that. That's part of the Higher Education Study Commission that the governor's agreed to do with me.
While Senator Sweeny's proposal has the potential to alleviate some of the cost burdens, the financial problems won't go away just like that. The longer a student waits to make payments, the more interest loans accrue. Interest can start accumulating the start of freshman year with a loan. You finish at graduation owing even more money than that was ever taken out. It could take a couple of years just to pay back all of the interest before you start paying the principal.
So the two biggest things I think are interest rates are super high. Most of mine, I've been able to pay off some of my higher interest rate loans to start with. So right now I only have some of the lower ones, which isn't too bad. But I know my sister and my husband, their loans are up at 6, 8, 9%, which is insane.
College loans may always exist, but the possibilities of making the financial burden lighter on future generations should be just as important as attaining a higher education.
To the audience I'm speaking, focus on your education. Ensure that you get the opportunity to go to college. Don't blow the opportunities that you have right now, because you don't want to look back later in life, or you don't want to have to go back and say, boy, I wish I did this, or I wish I did that.
I don't think I would do anything differently. I don't regret that I went to a more expensive school or anything like that, but I definitely think there are different options.
Now, looking back, do I regret my decision at all? No, because the experience and the investment of a great school like Lafayette was paramount to my education. But college is an investment, and I don't think I'd be the same person I am today.
Remain hopeful and demand better. Expect from the leaders in your school, in the university, expect them and demand, because your voices are very, very powerful. You may not know that, but you are. Demand better. When you go to an institution and they put a bill in front of you, ask them, what is this bill for about? What for? Why am I paying you this for? Where does my money go to? Is it going to buy a beautiful furniture for your office, or is it going to really help me get an education? I think you should expect that.
The message from college and state leaders is clear. Demand answers, demand education, and demand fair prices. Colleges like Rowan are taking important financial steps for its students. Now it's up to the students to decide if the college debt is worth it.